This evening on Nationwide, a trip to the kingdom as we explore the coastline on a foraging expedition. We meet and spend some time with artist Pauline Bewick and her daughter Poppy and find out about their current projects and discover how the landscape of Kerry influences their work. Kerry is truly an inspiring place, and it features in many of the paintings of the artist Pauline Bewick, who's lived here most of her working life. She captures the colours, the landscape and the magic of this place so very well. But Pauline's work also explores a variety of subjects and places. She lives near Cara Lake, outside Glen Bay, and she's very close to her daughter Poppy Melia, who's also an artist. And recently I paid them a visit for a catch-up. Hug. Great, come on in.
How long has it been, Mary?
Oh my goodness, gosh, 12 years since I was here. So cosy. How long have you lived in this house?
Gosh, over 40 years, sort of mid-40s, yeah.
Mid-70s.
Yeah. I've never lived anywhere so long as I've lived in this house. It's always been on the move, you know.
And you grew up here?
Yeah, well, I was about 11 when we moved into this house, so I've been in Kerry most of my life.
I love the fact that you're now married and you have 2 boys, but you still live inside the same gate.
It's lovely, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I have the acre at the back.
There's lovely pieces as well around the kitchen, like you've painted the cupboards,
Yes.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes, Poppy's son, Aaron, he's adorable, and I was about to throw out all those cupboards, and I said, here are the pastels, draw on them, and we'll spray them afterwards. Once Aaron had drawn on them, I loved the furniture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the family has, you're right, the family has gone on being artists right the way through. It's interesting.
I find it very interesting that the female line is very strong in your family, between you and your 2 daughters, and then your mother beforehand.
Yeah.
Tell us about the way you view that, you know, the matriarchal line.
Well, my mother was a mighty feisty woman, I can tell you. She really was. Really and truly, she managed cows and goats and growing potatoes, and she would bring 2 huge pieces of bread into the garden, and the sandwiches she would make, she'd eat them in the garden. They were about that thick, full of things she'd pulled. No need to wash them.
Watercress.
Yes, there was watercress in the stream. There was all sorts of things to put into these enormous sandwiches. You'd eat them there in the garden.
So freedom was very much a part of your upbringing, Pauline, wasn't it?
Very much. And she'd say, hey, come on, let's all go and sleep outside. And to this day, when they were little, they would sleep outside as well. And we'd go and sleep outside. And if it started to rain, we went and huddled underneath a sort of a makeshift
Prop up umbrellas over our heads as
Yeah.
well, with stones, and we stay outside while it's raining.
Your mother kept your very early sketches, Pauline, and like that's wonderful to have them now, isn't it?
Yes, it's extraordinary, because when she got old, she said, and to think I kept all your sketches, you know, you're fiddling while Rome burns. She went completely off the whole damn thing. But during childhood, she said, if I was in the middle of drawing, she'd say, you keep drawing, you know, you don't have to wash up, or, you know, we'll clear away, or whatever. So she was very encouraging indeed.
Yeah. All of the decades, the 7 ages of your painting, you actually donated them to the state.
It was rather selfish in a way of me to donate them, because I had too many. So I gave them to the state. So it's a human being's life from childhood right up to 70 for Cologlan to have in their collection.
How are things now? Because you're looking amazing for, what age are you?
102?
No.
83.
No, I'm 83.
And how are you? You look fab.
I'm very well, except I have a balance problem, and about 4 years ago I had a mini stroke, so something there was struck, and I'm now trying to train it, and I hope, because I've come across such brilliant people that are looking after me, I hope that I'm going to get my balance right. I feel I am.
2.5 years ago, you lost your husband, Pat Melia.
Yes, I did. Poor Pat, he was had Alzheimer's for 10 years, but he was one of the best-natured, wittiest persons to have Alzheimer's that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. And he still recognised us to the end, which is really nice.
Why do you think there's such a close relationship between mother and daughters?
Well, I think that we have a great laugh together, and we travel together a lot, and have an awful lot in common of, you know, what we enjoy laughing at. And
what kind of work are you finding that you're drawn to at the moment?
Extraordinary stuff. The Bluebeard series is really the weirdest, and that is strange partnerships between men and women.
I think we should go and have a look at this.
Yes. Yes. So this one, she obviously is having, at least to me, second thoughts about this fox that's putting a necklace around her. He's put my wedding ring, which broke in half.
Your wedding ring?
My own wedding ring.
Whoa.
It broke in half. I know it's odd, but this picture is going to be in the permanent family collection, so it's not going to go.
So it's not going to go anywhere.
No.
No.
So and Pat wouldn't mind. I know he wouldn't. This is Hurricane Ophelia, and there she is, here, and she's being blown around the trees, the leaves, everything. And I did that up at Poppy's house because I was afraid to be on my own in this hurricane. So I was up at Poppy's painting.
You were
hurricane.
painting away while the storm was blowing outside.
The storm was rattling away. Wow.
So was it a creative?
But it's so homely up there.
Was it a creative force then?
Yes, well, obviously it was, because it was going all around.
Swirling,
yeah. Yes.
See. This is lovely. I like this. I love the colours and the tones.
I like
but there's
it
a
too.
story there too, isn't there?
There is, but I haven't got it yet.
Oh, okay.
This bride is running away through lovely birch trees. Her man, that she's just married, is hanging on like mad to her veil. And where she's running to, I don't know. The church is where they're married. You see that very faint church? That's where they just married. This is her bouquet that she had for the wedding.
So we took a short break from all the lovely paintings and sat down to a delicious lunch made by Pauline's great friend Betty. Wow, this is gorgeous. Fab. Do you often eat together?
Oh, very often.
Do you?
Comes up to my place nearly every evening now. So
Oh, really?
lovely, yeah.
After lunch, I headed up to see what Poppy was working on in her studio. Lovely. It's lovely and bright, isn't it?
Yeah, I love my room, my studio.
And your mother's rug
Yeah,
on the floor.
yeah.
That's magnificent, Poppy.
Thank you.
That is lovely. The detail. When did you decide that this was going to be the path that you were going to pursue?
I went to NCAD and I did textile design, and that was, I just absolutely loved that I could do detail, and I wasn't really fine arty or anything like that, but
Well, certainly what's remarkable about your work is the detail, the precision.
yes, it's almost meditative. I just love spending time over tiny areas, like a square centimetre. I'll spend ages over it. So yeah, I love detail.
And how do you start? What's the process?
Well, usually it all starts in the lake on my kayak, and I think of I see a heron or I see the eagle that I painted, and it just inspires me. I sort of compress all the amazing things that I've seen together, like the lilies and the eagle and the fish.
How long would it take you to complete a painting?
Between 1 month for a very small one, right up to a year. It's hard for me to stop. I could go on forever with detail. So But I actually go down to my mum with the painting when I think it's sort of nearly finished, and she often gives me tips. She says, oh, I think a little bit of that blue, bring it down, the blue sky down into the grass, and you're done. And literally that would take me 5 minutes to do, and it's amazing because it just might pull the thing together. So at the very end, usually it's mum who says, okay, it's lovely.
And you've a sister, Holly, and she's an artist as well.
She is, yes, and she lives in Chianti. And she paints sort of like, I paint very slowly and very detailed. And then Mum would be quite quick and spontaneous, and then Holly would be halfway between. And she does animals, wild animals, and fox attacking geese and things like that. It's really, she's very powerful work as well.
Where do you sell your work?
I used to have lots of exhibitions right up till 2000 in London and Dublin and Kerry. And then I got commission after commission after commission and haven't stopped.
So this is your studio.
Yes, indeed it is.
My goodness, this is where the magic happens, Pauline.
I'm glad you call it magic.
It is magic. And this is what you're working on at the moment, is it?
Yes, it's a piece for a reflexologist who is a genius. She's a mighty woman called Bewick. And this is the first sketch that I did.
This is how you start, is it?
I did it from the car. It's Valencia.
Lovely. So what would, if you were to do a piece here now, what would you do to it? If you were to do a little bit of painting there?
Well, I think I would do a beam. I think I've got some...
Do a beam so we can see Pauline Bewick
painting a beam.
Painting her.
It's going to look a bit thin, and I'm going to shove you along a bit.
Okay, that's fine. The energy is very palpable, even from the painting at this stage, Pauline. Do you know that?
No, I mean, I didn't think it.
Oh, well, I do.
Yeah.
I love the connection between the lighthouse and the beam,
get you, yes.
and going to the moon, and also the movement in the sea.
Yes. Oh, gosh, yes.
It's amazing to think that at 83 years of age, you have the same passion and you know, commitment to painting.
Yes, I put it down to living in the present all the time. I mean, I've always lived in the present. And therefore, 83, I mean, I might as well still be 3. You know, I definitely enjoy the present.
That was really lovely. I have to say I enjoyed that visit with Pauline and Poppy. Stay with us now, because after the break we have some wonderful healthy food that can be found on every shoreline around the country, just like the shoreline here behind me. We'll talk to you again in a couple of minutes. Tá fáilte roimh arás, welcome back to Nationwide. We're in County Kerry, where I am on the coastline near Caherdaniel and about to go in search of superfoods. John and Kerry Ann Fitzgerald have been running seaweed discovery workshops, tastings and tours since 2009, and I'm going to head off now with John to find out about these nutritional superfoods. What have we here?
So right here, Mary, is what's known as a shell midden. Midden is a fancy name for a dump or a pit. So the original settlers would have lived by the coast, burrowed into the dunes that surround us here, like rabbits essentially, and their diet would have been seaweeds and shellfish, which were all readily available every day of the year. And we'll see what we have. These dunes would have come right out
over
all
there.
the way across, and with time they've been eroded to expose this here. Now this is listed.
So is this like their dustbin?
This is their dumping pit. Yeah. So they would have sat around here discussing the game, throwing their empties into the middle. So what you've got here is you've got limpets, you've periwinkles, you've dog whelks, you've native oysters, cockles, clams, scallops. There's an oyster shell there.
And how long would that have been there?
This is listed in the National Monuments as an archaeological find. They haven't carbon dated it. They haven't excavated it to find bone or teeth, so they can carbon date. But they say it can go back as far as 10,000 years ago, after the last ice age, when the first settlers lived along the coast in Ireland.
And are those shells secure there?
Yeah, these have been here a lot longer than we have.
Really? Gosh, isn't that fascinating? You get such insight into how people live their lives, don't you?
Absolutely. And like shellfish and seaweed would have been their initial diet, and then fish, as they watched the spiders make a web, they figured out how to make nets, etc., etc. But that they would have evolved to get better at that.
Gosh.
But that diet today is the trendy paleo diet that they're all going mad for in New York and LA and London. This is what these guys ate, and they had no money.
Do the different seaweeds have different qualities and different
Absolutely. I'll cross over here
attributes and benefits?
I'll show you this guy. This fella here is what kept the monks on Skelligs alive.
What's that one now?
This is called Dúlishke, the leaf of the water. You can have a taste of that.
Oh my God, it's so soft.
Dúlishke in the south of Ireland and Dulce up north.
It's actually very nice. I thought it would taste all seaweedy.
Palmaria palmata. So this would be very rich in minerals, vitamins, trace elements, but it was a fantastic source of vitamin C. This is the source of omega-3 and omega-6. It doesn't come from cod liver. We get it in cod liver, but it starts in seaweeds. It's the seaweeds that manufacture them.
Wow. That is oh yeah, so it's come from the seaweed into
it goes
the
up
cod.
the food chain, because these are all grazed on. When the tide comes in, all the shellfish and fish will be munching away on all these seaweeds.
It's unbelievably gorgeous.
So Mary, I reckon this plant is more important historically in Irish history than the potato, because this is what kept the monks on Skelligs and all the other islands alive. It's what kept the majority of the population alive that lived around the coast. So it's what the Vikings carried on all their voyages. It allowed them go west to North America, east to Russia, south to the Mediterranean, and open up all those trade routes. And they also settled, as you know, Waterford, Cork, Limerick and Dublin. So they were this is the plant that allowed them to travel with vitamin C. This prevented them getting scurvy.
I see, yeah. Long before the potato ever hit our shores.
A long time before Mr. Raleigh brought the potato to y'all. Aha, some sea spaghetti.
Sea spaghetti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Himentalia elongata.
Gosh, you're great with the
We're going to be
names,
eating
John.
a bit of this later on, so you can see how it gets its name.
Oh yeah,
Spaghetti
yeah,
like.
just like a little spaghetti. So are we going to cook this first?
We're going to
I'm
cook
not
this
going to
for
try
about
that.
5 minutes like pasta. Then you rinse it clear and then you flavour it with your soya, your lime, whatever takes your fancy.
Brilliant.
Super healthy. Brown seaweed. Sea spaghetti.
What other bits have you got here?
This one here is the most expensive seaweed in the Atlantic.
Oh, really?
This is called pepper dulse. Mi Vaughan in Irish. Osmundia pinnitifida.
It's absolutely beautiful to look at even, isn't it?
So it's a fern-like red seaweed.
Yeah, can I eat this?
Yes.
Yeah, straight off.
Chew that now, and it's nicknamed the truffle of the ocean. You should get a garlicky kick first, and then you'll get a peppery kick after.
That's fab.
So chefs worldwide pay a fortune for this.
What kind of money would you be talking about?
You could be talking a lot of money, Mary.
Oh, that is...
In South Kerry, we don't mention figures.
I was going to say, it said like a true Kerry man, only you're from Cork.
Yeah, I'm from
You've
the
been
capital,
talking their
Mary.
ways.
I told you I'm from the capital.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
So 2,000 a kilo this was selling for in Harrods food hall.
And can anybody come down here now and take a little bit in and bring it home? And...
No, I'll hide this when you're gone. I cover all this up when you're gone.
But when you bring tours, because you do tours
Yes.
of the foraging, people would see where it is then, wouldn't they?
They would, but then they get back in their car and go away. And plus you need a license to take anything from the shore.
Okay.
See the sun glistening here now?
Yeah.
Nori or sloughcorn in Irish. You'll find it growing on these boulders. It almost looks like an oil slick. Porphyra is the Latin name. We hold it up to the light there, you'll see it's only 1 cell thick, so it's completely translucent.
And what's its properties?
So this could be up to 37% protein.
Wow.
Yeah, chickpeas are 28.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So this is a massive source of protein, which was hugely important to the original settlers in Ireland, but was really important up to recent times when Lent was observed so strictly. So think of it, for 40 days and 40 nights, you're not allowed to eat meat. They weren't even allowed to eat eggs. So you're going up to Easter Sunday, which is the middle of winter. So no matter how many boats you have, you can't go out and catch more fish. Fish is your only source of protein. So you'd have some fish salted, but you'd be really precious with them because you want to stretch them to get you to where you need to get.
Easter.
Every single day, you stroll down to the shore, no special tools or skills. You take this home, you boil it like spinach, and you're winning. Makes spinach look like a Big Mac.
John, you've a wealth of knowledge about the seaweed, but it's your business as well.
Absolutely. We take people to the shore all the time. We'd do a lot with schools and colleges, and an awful lot of visitors from abroad.
I suppose, though, you'd have to be careful about the environment and the effect you're having on the coastline, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. As you saw from our harvesting earlier, we practice sustainable hand harvesting. So the golden rule is you cut 2/3 of the plant, you leave it attached by its holdfast to the rock. Then it will grow back and replenish. So yeah, we're kind of custodians of the environment that we work in. So we have fierce respect for the shoreline and the crop and the life, the biodiversity it sustains.
Well, on the subject of food, are we going to get to kind of taste some of this superfood?
Absolutely. I think Carrie-Anne has been busy preparing a few dishes that you're going to get to sample shortly. National Seaweed Discovery Experience.
Oh, yes.
So in we go.
Oh, how lovely. A veritable feast from the sea. And Carrie-Anne, this is your good work.
Yes, yeah. So hopefully there's most of the seaweeds that you saw today.
So Mary, the proof of the pudding's in the eating.
You
so
never said a
let's
truer
tuck
word.
in.
Okay, yeah, I'm dying to try this. This is our spaghetti.
Sea spaghetti, that's right. We gathered some of that below. Now, what do you think?
Lovely, so fresh.
And really, really good for you.
Nice texture.
Yep.
What's the good for me bit?
So this is a brown seaweed. It's got alginate in there, which helps with slimming, but it's also got a... She's messing.
Messing aside, I'd built up an appetite from our foraging and really enjoyed the dishes Carrie-Anne had created. From the seaweed spaghetti, pestos, sauerkrauts, to pulled pork garnished with pickled seaweed, and finishing off with seaweed-flavoured shortbread and toffee brittle. These superfoods are as versatile as they are nutritious.
You're literally grazing the Wild Atlantic Way. This is the only tour in the country where you can actually eat the Wild Atlantic Way.
Eat the coastline.
Yes. like our ancestors.
Well, now I have two choices. I could head off to restock my pantry with some of those wonderful native seaweeds, or I could sit here on this upturned boat and look out at that lovely seascape. What to do, decisions. I leave you to make up your own minds. Chinderla Shidlor, on the Hain Eurovorin, agus o Hunde Hiri, Iwagwiv, agus Kadeshiv Slán. On next Monday's Nationwide, as part of Seachtain na Gaeilge, we travel to Cork to see hundreds of young people learning to play Irish music. And in Dublin, we meet some of the many people who attend weekly pop-up Gaeltachts in the city.
That's all to come on Monday. Next tonight, young Sheldon, followed by EastEnders.